Preface of Expository Thoughts on the Gospel of St. Luke, Volume 1. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by MaryAnnS. Expository Thoughts on the Gospel of St. Luke, Volume 1, by J.C. Ryle. Preface. The volume now in the reader's hands is a continuation of the Expository Thoughts on the Gospels, of which 2 volumes have been already published. The general design of the work has been so fully explained in the preface to the volume on St. Matthew that it seems needless to say anything further on the subject. I will only remark that I have steadily adhered to the threefold object which I proposed to myself when I first began. I have endeavoured to produce something which may meet the wants of heads of families in conducting family prayers, of district visitors in reading to the sick and unlearned, and of private students of the Bible who have neither large libraries nor much leisure. These 3 classes I have constantly kept in view. Their wants have been continually before my eyes. Whatever would be unsuitable to them I have diligently tried to avoid. In one important respect the present volume will be found to differ from the 2 which have preceded it. I allude to the explanatory notes which I have appended to each portion of Scripture expounded. These notes are so numerous that some may think they occupy a disproportionate place in the volume. I trust, however, that the majority of readers will think that they are worth the space which they fill. A few words on the nature of these notes may not be out of place. I am desirous to explain the object I have had in view in the preparation of them. My first object has been to throw light on difficulties. I can say with a good conscience that I have endeavoured to examine every hard passage, and have never turned aside from any perplexing expression or text. I have striven to gather together all the information I could obtain on each difficulty, and to present it to the reader in a compact and lucid form. I do not for a moment pretend to say that I have explained everything. I am deeply conscious that I have left many a hard thing in Luke where I found it. But I can honestly say that I have never shrunk from the discussion of the difficulties. I have resolved that it should never be said that I commented upon easy things and left hard things untouched. My second object has been to aid those readers who do not understand the Greek language. I have tried to point out the literal meaning of words in the original Greek, which, from various causes, our English translators have rendered less literally than they might have done. I have also noticed the varying translations which in many cases our translators have made of the same Greek word. In doing this, I would state distinctly that I wish to bring no accusation against our authorized version of the Bible, and that I have no sympathy with the movement for a revised version. I do not forget that any translation of the Bible, to be useful, must be written in a popular style, and that an excessively literal reading of many Greek expressions would sound very harsh to English ears. That the authorized English version has faults, weak points, and defects I fully allow. But after reading the existing attempts at revision, I confess that I feel very strong doubts whether we are likely to alter our version for the better. It appears to me the wiser course to let well alone. My third object has been to quote passages from approved writers, which throw light on subjects under discussion, and to name writers who may be referred to on special points by those who have libraries and leisure. This is a department of the notes, I need hardly say, which might easily have been greatly enlarged, and I would have gladly enlarged it. Nothing, in fact, but the fear of making my work extend to an unreadable size has made me refrain from giving many more quotations than I have already given. But I remember that we live in a hurrying age, and that it never was so true as it is now that a great book is a great evil. My last object in these notes has been to combat existing false doctrines and heresies on every occasion, and to point out the answers to them which the text of Scripture supplies. I have never shrunk from exposing the utter contrariety to the Scripture of the peculiar doctrines of the Socinians, Neologians, Romanists, and Semi-Romanists. I have not been deterred from speaking out plainly by the dread of being thought controversial. I have made no secret of my opinions. I have unhesitatingly avowed that I
Sample complete. Ready to continue?